The Central Intelligence Agency is by far one of the most controversial arms of the United States government. And if there is one man who knows some of the agency's darkest chapters in its storied history, it's journalist and author Douglas Valentine. Valentine's investigations into the controversial Phoenix program in Vietnam and the agency's role in the illegal drug trade have made headlines and even got portions of his research materials placed in the National Security Archives. Recently, Sean Stone sat down with Valentine to discuss his new book, The CIA as Organized Crime: How Illegal Operations Corrupt America and the World. In this preview of his interview with Valentine, Sean started by asking him just who is the CIA working for and protecting, because given their history, one could argue at times it is definitely not the American people.
The CIA is not a social services organization. It's not a law enforcement organization. It works on behalf of the major corporations and the establishments in the United States, which historically are equated with the state being the financial institutions, industry that provides jobs for many Americans, all the different industries that are taken together. These are the industries in the United States. It's financial institutions are felt to be the people, the segment of the United States that has the greatest stake in the United States, that invests the most of its own money into the United States, and thus, when it's called the establishment, rules the United States through its own secret agreements. And it does so not in support of average Americans. Its goal is not to make sure that there's universal health care or that everybody has a doctor or gets medical need, as is in the case of many other nations. Its single purpose is to serve the interests of these major industrialists who compose the establishment in the United States. And then at the very highest levels, the people in these industries work hand in hand with the senior executive management in the CIA, and they work together towards mutual ends. Let me just add, a person, an individual like Rex Tillerson, who was just nominated and approved to be the Secretary of State, is a person who works for a major oil corporation. And he is the sort of individual, he's an example of the kind of individual who has intimate relations with the CIA. He's often in Russia negotiating deals there. There are people like Rex Tillerson at the highest level of our an American industry are the people that determine the policies and are able to direct where the CIA goes and where its operations are going to be conducted. For example, if United States industries want to get a foothold in the Ukraine, for 20, 30 years, they'll plot out a series of covert actions and intelligence gathering activities which are conducted in secret by the CIA and culminate, as happened in 1950, in a coup in the Ukraine. And then within days, major American corporations move into that country and take over its industries. And this is the essence of American imperialism, is that it's always advancing the economic interests of the United States abroad. And that the CIA has this, its activities are limited to overseas, and that's its function, is to pave the way for American industry overseas. Again, it's not a social service organization. It has nothing to do with improving the lives of individuals here in the United States. Its goal is to pave the way for American corporations to gain a foothold or expand their their influence overseas.